Welcome to Smart Parents, Successful Students, the podcast that helps parents like you guide your children toward academic confidence and success. I'm your host, Helen Panos, and I'm here to share expert tips, proven strategies, and inspiring stories that make the journey to school success a little smoother for both you and your student. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my Smart Parents, Successful Students podcast. I'm your host, Helen Panos, and I am here again with season 14 and another guest. Her name is Dr. Candace Holmes. Welcome to the show, Dr. Holmes.
Thank you so much for having me, Helen. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming back. I know, gosh, I think you were in season 1. Can you believe in season 14?
Wow.
Yes.
That just shows how well you're doing it. That's it.
And I know I saw you in person recently, and I said, yours is still, I think, the #1 running podcast.
I'm so flattered. Thank you.
You need to say that when you post that on Facebook.
I will. I will put that out there. Absolutely.
So, Dr. Holmes obviously has been on our show before, and I've known her now, gosh, I think at least we said 6 to 10 years or something like that. We've lost track of time. But she is the founder and CEO of Brain Core of Duluth and Natural Brain Transformation Specialist. And I am going to introduce her to all of you guys, and we're going to go on with our interview. So Dr. Holmes is an author, speaker, and chiropractor with nearly 3 decades of experience. Her passion of neurofeedback therapy was sparked by her eldest daughter's powerful ADHD transformation, overcoming symptoms, thriving without medication, and consistently making the president's and dean's list in college. Yay! Now a certified neurofeedback therapy specialist, Dr. Holmes has spent the past decade helping others achieve similar breakthroughs. She's on a mission to share this brain-based life-changing therapy with individuals, families, and organizations ready to transform their mental wellness. Woo! I love that bio, though.
Oh, thank you.
That was beautiful. So I want you to tell us what got you to this journey you're on.
Sure. Well, my oldest daughter was born, I always say she was petite. She was 4 pounds, 10.8 ounces when she was born. I was 36 weeks and 5 days. And so she was 36 weeks and 5 days. So just 2 days shy of full term. And the doctor told me that she would be a little delayed in some things. I said, okay, and she was. Ended up having to hold her back in kindergarten, which was the hardest thing for me because I'm like, it's kindergarten, And so then time went on, and one of my cousins, I was telling her about, what was going on with my daughter. She said, why don't you, think about getting her tested? I'm like, tested for what? And so one of my sorority sisters is a child psychologist, and she was diagnosed with ADHD. And honestly, I was in denial because nobody in my family had that. And after she's finished about 12 or 15 sessions with her, she's like, you sure you don't want to put her on medication? I'm like, no, I'm a chiropractor. We try to stay away from medication as often as possible. And so the only other option that was given to me was medication. And so as time was going on, she was struggling in school. I mean, I didn't think she'd go to college. That's how badly she was struggling. And I understand it's not for everyone. It's just in our family, we go to college. It's now, if you're going, it's where you're going. And I had to have that moment with myself, like, she may not go, and you may have to be okay with that. I mean, she lacked focus and attention. She was getting, I was getting constant calls from school because she was off track and she was socially awkward, didn't have any friends, and was taking about 5 hours a night to do homework every night. It was exhausting. And then it was when she was 13 is when I found out about neurofeedback through a chiropractic magazine where one of my former professors wrote an article about it. And it said drug-free therapy, non-invasive, results can last up to 30 years. And I'm, what? And it said ADHD, autism, anxiety. I'm like, what is that? What are you talking about? And so
I got your attention, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And how many years ago was this?
Let's see, she's 22 now. So good Lord, back when she was 17. So almost 10 years. Yeah.
So for sure they've come a long way in the last even just 5.
Yes. Thank God for that, because it's a condition amongst others that a lot of people are struggling with, not only children, adults as well. So
yes, I agree. So wow, that's interesting. So what would you say to parents of children with ADHD or autism today who are skeptical about neurofeedback therapy?
Sure.
And tell us what it is exactly.
Sure. So neurofeedback therapy is a learning modality. It's a way to retrain how your brain functions. So most people think of a diagnostic test like an X-ray or MRI, which just shows the structure. This actually is a functional assessment. So it shows where your brain is having some challenges and where it's doing very well. So it's very easy. It's all computer based, which I love. If it weren't easy, my daughter would not have done it, to be honest with
Mhm.
you. And um, she just thrived on it and it's continuing to thrive. So I'm very thankful about it. Thankful for it.
So what would people be skeptical about
Sure.
then related
I think
to?
because it's lesser known to people, even though it's been around for over 60 years, and that's why I wrote a book about it. I mean, it doesn't have to be a secret. Um,
Tell us the name of your book.
thank you. Transform your brain with neurofeedback.
Yes, because we are videotaping and audio,
Yes,
for those of you
yes,
following us either way.
yes, yes. Because I don't want it to be a secret anymore. Over 60 years. I mean, that's a long time for it to be in existence. It first started noticing that it was helping people with epilepsy, and so
Mm,
the first they're like, oh, and then they did some more research and found, oh, it helps with ADHD,
wow.
and it helps with symptoms of autism, it helps with depression, it helps with anxiety, because everything begins in the brain. And so
Right.
the skepticism may be because they haven't heard of it. And I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I'm just gonna leave that right there. I think lots of times we are conditioned to thinking that everything can be solved or resolved with taking medication, and that's not the case. So
Mhm.
this is a drug-free, non-invasive therapy, and everybody should know about it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's good to go to a doctor. It's good to hear that option. And I've done the same things. And then I'll go do research on something. And then I'm like, well, let me try this. And it's more of a holistic approach. Like I
Holistic.
have a functional medicine doctor actually right now that's helping me with, I don't mind saying IBS. And that was from surgery I had 12 years ago. So
Mhm.
that caused it. And so, I've been doing medicine, but even that wasn't really helping because you know how medicine is. You take it too long, then your body, I think, gets too
Get
used to
used
it,
to
right?
it.
So
Exactly.
now I'm doing a bunch of supplements, which I got to take soon,
Reminder.
and Ashley, who I'm going to see after we're done here. So,
Yes.
and I'm seeing a difference actually,
Yes.
and she's a doctor, but
Yes.
she's also a holistic doctor.
Yes. It's just a different approach. It's a different
Mhm.
approach. It's like I tell people, it's great to have multiple people on your team. It's not one shot for anything. It's a combination, a collaboration of
Yeah, our bodies are definitely an interesting thing that God put together, right?
absolutely perfect.
Very
Perfect.
complex system.
Very complex. Very
And
complex.
amazing how different they are, right? When you think of
Exactly. From person to person, experience to experience,
it's
it's
something
amazing.
else,
Amazing.
really. I mean, it really kind of powerful.
It
So how do you know if neurofeedback is working and what kind of changes should families expect to see?
Sure. So in the programs that I have, a typical straightforward case with a patient, in about 2 weeks, they'll start experiencing some uh, symptoms resolving or getting better. So for instance, a lot of patients who have improved sleeping, they have improved comprehension, they have improved focus, they have decreases in having those anxious thoughts and having sad moods. So it
Mm,
varies. I've had quite a few patients with suicidal ideation that will go down, or memory loss that goes down. Migraines go away, or even the intensity decreases and the
mhm,
severity. And frequency decreases as well. So it varies, of course, from person to person. But those are some of the changes to expect that it's working. I had one mom whose son had autism, and he would be very fidgety when he would get his hair cut. And she said, "Oh my gosh, now he just sits there and just lets the barber cut his hair." So that didn't happen before. I'm like, that's neurofeedback.
wow.
Emotional regulation is another huge
Ah, yes.
symptom
And
of
that's a big ADHD or
yeah, autism too. Autism too. Yes,
yes,
absolutely.
and autism too, right, exactly. Yeah, and that's also one of your top 4 areas for executive functioning too, is, emotional control.
Yes, and that's,
Mhm.
a lot of adults sometimes still have some challenges with that, so,
Right.
it's nice
Yeah,
to work with children, especially when they're young, where their brains are more malleable, and, I mean, neuroplasticity is great with every age. I just like to it's just like, when children are sponges, they learn faster, so why not,
right.
be proactive instead of reactive, especially when some challenges are present.
To be clear for our audience, like, what age group is, like, which age groups are you doing? As young as what? Can
As
you be
young as 5 years old, they just need to be
okay.
able to have well, all of our attention spans are decreasing, but be able to watch a television show or movie for, like, 30 minutes at a time. So
Mhm,
that's the thing. Now we may have some 4-year-olds who are very mature. They're just few and far between. So,
mhm. And then
uh,
you do it all the way through adulthood, right?
oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Would you say you see a lot more adults nowadays? Because I know, like, I'm hearing a lot more from, adults about executive functioning too.
Executive functioning and then memory is huge with adults. And, a lot of them have prior traumas that weren't addressed, because in their time, there's no blood, no foul. You hit your head, playing a sport. Oh,
Mhm.
well, you fell down the stairs. Oh, well, you're not bleeding. You're great. Get back out there.
Right. Put dirt on it, as they used to
Exactly.
say.
Exactly. You're fine. You're fine.
My husband always uses that,
Oh, yeah,
expression because they had
absolutely.
7 kids in the family. They
Dirt
would
and
say
blood.
and she was a nurse, and she go, "Just put dirt on it," right?
And so a lot of them, because we are living longer and they want to have lives that are full, where they have their cognition and they're able to, interact with their grandkids and their children, their adult children and everything. So,
Right.
mhm,
And I think with the fast-paced environment we have today, I think, and if like in my family there is dementia from my
mhm,
dad's side. So if you know that you may inherit that, could you possibly prolong that to not happen
absolutely.
as soon, let's say.
Sure. I had a 29-year-old patient whose mom had frontal temporal dementia at 50, and she was like, Dr. Holmes, she said, I know there's only a 50% chance that I can get this. She said, but I just want to stay ahead of it. Because even now I notice that I'm, forgetting, numbers and I'm not following my list. My focus is all over the place. And she said, I just have brain fog. And she said, I don't want my sons to have to take care of me like my brother and I have to take care of my mom.
Mhm.
My mom at 50, I don't think she knows how to operate a microwave oven. And I was like, whoa, 50. Like I'm 52 presently. And that was just
Right.
years ago. And I'm thinking, wow, like,
Yeah, see, I love that. I love her being proactive like that. And I did the same similar thing with exercise because I knew my mom had arthritis. And then in her 70s, around late 70s, she had a hard time. She was slowing down walking. She couldn't walk around the block, whatever. And I said, I'm going to start picking up a trainer. Yes, it's expensive, but this is my health. And I
yeah,
started doing that once a week. And I continue to this day. And that was in my 40s. So I said,
absolutely.
I'm gonna try to offset or put off the arthritis as long as I can. So the same thing with all these things. Like anxiety is not gonna go away. ADHD isn't going anywhere. But
Mm,
what can you do? This is one,
right. How can you mitigate
folks.
symptoms? Yes.
Right.
Can
This
you
is
make it
another
work?
treatment that people haven't heard about, and you can definitely do your research. And I'm sure Dr. Holmes will talk about how they reach you and where they can find you, and it's going to be in the notes. But how is neurofeedback different from medication, and can it be used alongside traditional treatments? That's a great
Sure. It absolutely can. If people are already on medications, I don't tell them to get off of them. Of course, my goal is to help you get off of them with the neurofeedback.
one.
So
Eventually, yep.
it's a collaborative effort. So the wonderful thing is when people are on medications, when your brain starts making those changes through neuroplasticity, then you start experiencing the side effects of those medications worse, which is wonderful, which means your brain chemistry has changed and you don't need that high dosage. So I make sure to give my patients all the side effects to all the medications that they're on, printed. And so when they start experiencing those, I say, hey, let me know. And I say, hey, go back to the doctor who put that on. I say, hey, doc, I'm experiencing these side effects. Can you please decrease my dosage? And so it's done under their supervision. So eventually, decrease, 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 and then gone. So yes,
Hmm.
that's how. And again, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist or a counselor. I stay in my lane. I collaborate with people. You know,
But you
if
know plenty of people that are.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I say, if you're in crisis, don't call me, call your person. I'll just say, don't do that. That's all I have. So
Hmm.
and that's wonderful, just because
All
they
right.
appreciate
Mhm.
that I speak with their other specialists, so that we all are on the same page.
That's terrific. Yeah. I mean, I've had a PT speak to my trainer before.
Absolutely, you want to make sure that everything that they are recommending for you is something that your body can handle and without injury. Where we're trying to be helpful, not hurtful.
All right, I love it. I wish more and more people would hear about neurofeedback and try it, right? And folks, y'all just gotta you gotta do a little bit of research, and if not, give Dr. Holmes a call. She'll tell you about it.
I will. I will gladly.
Speaking
I
of
will.
that,
Oh.
how do they reach you?
Sure, sure. They can go to my website, which is Brain Core of Duluth, and that'll be in the notes. Brain Core, like an apple of Duluth, DULUTH.com. And on there, you can sign up to speak with me for a complimentary neural health call. I'll just go over, any questions. Most people have tons of questions, and just to see if the person that you're calling about is a candidate, you or your child, family member.
And I know you said they can receive the first chapter of your book.
Yes, yes, I'm giving that to all the listeners. Absolutely. So that'll also be in the notes. You get the first chapter of my book, Transform Your Brain with Neurofeedback. And just to get a little bit more in depth as to what it is that the book is about, and give you an introduction.
Yeah, terrific. Well, folks, I definitely want to thank Dr. Holmes for coming on today and telling us more about neurofeedback. And like always, you guys have to do a little bit of your research, but give Dr. Holmes a call. It's a free complimentary call. And I thank you again for coming on. And everybody, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to Smart Parents Successful Students podcast. If you found today's episode insightful, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and check out our YouTube channel for even more tips to help your student thrive. Until next time, keep guiding your children towards success.